What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Locks DFS MLB breakdown. My name is Narang. I'm from locksdfs.com, and I'll be breaking down this 13-game main slate on DraftKings and FanDuel for Tuesday, April 23rd. Before I get into that, though, if you guys want to go ahead and leave a like and comment on this video, not only would it mean a lot for me as far as getting more traction and more eyes on these videos, but you will be entered into winning a free season pass of your choice. We run the same giveaway every week. We announced last week's winner on yesterday's video, so if you haven't watched that, make sure to watch that to see if you're the winner. And then we announce that winner every Monday. So next Monday, I will announce a winner for whoever's leaving likes, whoever's leaving good comments. I'll pick one of y'all for a free season pass of your choice, and then you'll be added to the subsequent private member Slack chat, whether that be MLB or whatever pass you choose. And yeah, with that all being said, if you guys do want to join the team, you can go to locksdfs.com/shop and get yourself a pass, and you can come hang out and play with us. But with that being said, let's just get into this slate. So we have kind of the theme of these pitching slates has been not a lot of top end options recently, and it's more or less the same here. Not a single guy priced over 10K, only Maeda at the highest on DK at 10K, and I believe Domingo German at 9.3 on FanDuel. So again, not a ton of high priced options. So there's going to be a lot of salary to pay for some bats here, and I mean, thankfully we do have a bunch of bats in some good spots. But looking at these high-priced options, I think it's a tough choice between a guy like Patrick Corbin or Domingo German for my top point per dollar option. But I really like this spot for Domingo German, so I'm going to talk about him in specifics. This is his 2019 numbers. He's got a 2.83 xFIP to righties and 4.27 to lefties with a 13K per 9 to righties. That's only in about an 18-inning sample size with a 10-inning sample size on righties. So if we do look at 2018, his numbers are more or less the same: 3.24 xFIP to righties, 4.69 to lefties, and just about a K per 9, or just about a 13K per 9 to righties. So really, what you could take away from this is that he's got absolutely filthy stuff versus right-handed bats, of which he should see quite a few of in this Angels lineup. Looks like they should typically roll out 5 righties with 4 lefties. 2 of them being La Stella, Goodwin, and then Bohr, who's not having a great year, or Calhoun. So not the most intimidating of lefties. So definitely a spot that you could look to target him. The main thing with him is just how many swinging strikes he generates. The guy's got a swinging strike rate just above 16% this year. He's touched 20% in 3 of the 4 games he's pitched in, which is incredibly impressive if 20% of his pitches are being swung on and missed. So an absolute awesome stat there for him. And being only 9K, I think that is a bit underpriced in a really good ballpark. So he will be a guy that I'm interested in as far as high price options go. And there's sort of like a host of mid to low price guys you could choose from. And a few of them have some pretty decent merit to them. Guys like Swanson or this guy for San Diego, whose name I still can't pronounce. Or a guy like Frankie Montas, who's the guy that I'm going to talk about in this video. A slightly better pitcher at home, 3.36 xFIP at home versus 4.47 on the road, just under a K per 9. He doesn't really strike out too many guys. He has a swinging strike rate just above 9%, which is all right. It's not great. And he does struggle a little bit with lefties, specifically giving up some power to lefties. Like he's got a 1.93 home run per 9 with a 4.68 xFIP to lefties. It kind of isn't great because a lot of these best bats from Texas are lefties, but they will strike out a fair amount. You saw a guy like Chris Bassett last game have a pretty good game against this same team. Not nearly as prolific as an offense on the road as they are in Arlington. And there's been some positive line movement early throughout the day on Oakland. As you see, their team total has risen from 4.3 to 4.4, and Texas has dropped from 3.8 to 3.6. So definitely a good spot to look towards for some of these pitching options, or Frankie Montas and some of these Oakland bats as well. And with that being said, let's get into some of these bats because there's a ton of options on this slate.
It is a Coors Field slate, so typically I only talk about one side of the Coors Field slate. Patrick Corbin's pitching on the other side, so I do think you can look to some rocky bats, and they're going to come in fairly low owned. Patrick Corbin's just a 2-pitch pitcher with a fastball slider, so if they are going to sit fastball and not swing at that slider, then he could definitely have a rough game. So with Nato and Story in the heart of that lineup, definitely can look towards them. But I'm going to be targeting this Washington side primarily. These are Jeff Hoffman's 2017 numbers. The reason I'm using 2017 is he only threw like 8 innings in 2018, and then this is his first start of 2019. So in 2017, he had a 4.94 xFIP to lefties, 5.3 to righties. He pitched worse at Coors Field, which is to be expected. He had a pretty high walk rate, 5 batters per 9 to righties, a little over 2 to lefties. And a pretty high home run rate as well, 1.54 to righties, 1.2 to lefties. He just wasn't a great pitcher. He was one of their top prospects years ago, and now he's sort of one of those post-hype prospects. There have been some reports that he's changed up some things in his mechanics in the offseason, and that his fastball, because his fastball in 2018 was about 2 or 3 ticks down in velo, which is, for a guy like him who relies on his fastball playing up, is bad for him. So in 2019, though, his fastball has apparently been way up in that velo. I hear he's touching 99 at times. So he's just back to what he was, a flame-throwing righty who can struggle with walks and give up a lot of hard contact. Doesn't play great in Coors Field, so I'm going to be looking to a lot of these Washington bats as great options. I think you can go with any of the 3 outfielders. Juan Soto, probably one of my favorite plays on the entire day. And the rest of them are fairly affordable, given that they are in Coors Field. And then with that being said, the next spot that I want to talk about is this spot for Houston at home versus Michael Pineda. Michael Pineda, a guy who's pitched pretty well to start this year, but he's a guy who really looks like he's just trying to throw strikes, not trying to walk guys, and because of that, he's getting hit pretty hard. As you can see, his walk rate's fairly low, but his home run per 9 rate fairly high because he is giving up he is throwing a lot of strikes, which can almost be a bad thing in the sense that you can get hit really hard when you do get hit. As you can see, he has been 55% hard hit rate to righties with a 45% fly ball rate and a 30% line drive rate. Those aren't great numbers by any means, and especially not great because he's gone up against a dominant right-handed batting team in Houston. They have Springer, Altuve, Bregman, Correa, Yuli, who's been more patient and hitting for more power this year, Chirinos, a bunch of really good right-handed bats. And then they got like talented lefties in there as well with Brantley and Reddick. So not the lineup you wanna be facing if you're struggling with right-handed power. So I'm gonna be looking to a lot of these righties for Houston primarily, although you can mix in the lefties if you want to. Michael Brantley's been one of the hottest hitters recently, so definitely in play both sides over there. So with that being said, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. As always, if you guys do want to leave a like and comment, you can do so. If you did enjoy the video. And I just realized I forgot to do the home run calls, so we'll go ahead and do those actually first. Haven't picked any specifics, but there are a few guys I have in mind. So for the low price guy, 4K or lower, as you guys know, I'm going to go with Matt Carpenter. He just shouldn't be 4K. That's way too cheap. Zach Davies is a guy that struggled with lefties his entire career, and this year it's more or less the same. So I'll be looking at Matt Carpenter for my low price guy. And then the high price guy, I'm going to come and go with Juan Soto at 5K. Just love this spot. Love the spot for a lot of these lefties. I love the spot for all these Washington bats, but primarily the lefties versus Jeff Hoffman. So I'll go with Juan Soto as the high price dong of the day. But yeah, guys, so if you want to leave a like and comment if you did enjoy, that would be much appreciated. LocksDFS.com/shop to get yourself a pass. I hope you guys win a ton of money tonight, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.